Welcome back to my Road to Completion Guide for Control. This is episode 13. We're going to be picking up a trophy here at the beginning of this episode called The Importance of Synergy. That's for completing 5 side missions. So what I want you guys to do is fast travel back over to the Panopticon. We're going to talk to Langston. We're going to wrap up Fridge Duty. That's the side mission that we were working on from the previous episode. We're going to pick up another side mission called Langston's Runaways, and the trophy's going to pop at the same time.
Langston. Where's, you know,
what the fridge had more.
yeah, this the class.
So at this point, we want to start working on the side mission Langston's Runaways, but we're not going to finish it in this episode. We're just going to start that side mission. So go ahead and fast travel back over to the upper Panopticon, and the first object of power that we need to find and cleanse is a traffic light. So if you guys remember back in episode 11, we had a boss fight. It was the Salvador boss fight. We're heading back to that same room. Okay, that's where the traffic light is going to be. And all we have to do is catch up to the traffic light and cleanse it. Now the trick to this whole process is that you can only advance toward the light if it's glowing green or yellow. Obviously if it's red, it's telling you guys to stop. If it's green, you can move with safety. If it's yellow, you want to move with caution. Now I can tell you guys that during my practice runs at this game, I never had an enemy show up here, but for whatever reason this time around I did. So I got caught, but you can see what happens if you guys get caught while it's showing red. You guys will be teleported back to the beginning of the sequence. So if you do have an enemy here, I will go ahead and kill the enemy first before you start messing with the light, just because it's going to be hard for you guys to advance toward the light and deal with the enemy at the same time. So go ahead and kill this enemy, advance on the light and cleanse it, and then we'll continue. So if you guys look in the top left hand side of the screen, we just got credit for cleansing the traffic light. We have 3 more objects of power that we need to cleanse. Let's go ahead and quit to the main menu. I want you guys to continue back in, and then we're going to fast travel over to Dead Letters. So as soon as you guys arrive at Dead Letters, straight ahead will be a glowing object at the top of the stairs. That's the letter that we're looking for. Now we're going to have to do this several times, okay? Basically interact with the letter, and then it's going to start teleporting around the room, and your goal is to find out where it's going to end up at. Now I already know where it's going to end up at, so just follow the gameplay. Make sure that you cleanse all these letters, and then we'll continue.
I need to find the other pages. Okay, we need to know where it's ended up. There should be one more page. Okay, I need to know where it's gonna end up. done and
Perfect. Now we have 2 of the 4 objects of power in order to complete Langston's Runaways. We're going to hop off this balcony. You guys can levitate down to the control point so you don't take any fall damage. And let's fast travel back over to Central Executive. Once you make it back to Central Executive, look to the left. We're going to follow this path over to Executive Affairs. Once we get there, we're going to see 3 bodies floating in the air. There's one specific body there that we can use to find our way to another hidden location. I'm going to show that to you here. See the body right there? So what I want you to do is rotate your camera so that you're looking straight down. This way, when you levitate toward that body, you'll know exactly when you're over the top, okay? Notice how when I got over the top of that body, I stopped levitating, and then I was actually standing on top of the body. See what I'm saying? And then I just used that body as a platform to get to the hidden location. Of course, you guys will have a treasure crate here. Then I want you to make your way back to Central Executive, and then we're going to talk to Emily, and then we'll continue with the campaign.
the resonance emitted from the HRAs is purely antithetical to every. My brother. It's okay.
So the next thing that we need is clearance level 6, and we can only get that once we talk to Dylan, and then we're going to be finding another hidden location.
You are a worm through time. You are a worm through time. The thunderstorm distorts you. You are a worm through time.
Oh.
What?
Left. This.
So now that we have clearance level 6, let's go ahead and find that hidden location I was telling you guys about. Let's backtrack to the control point, and we're going to fast travel over to logistics, okay? Now, as soon as you guys spawn in, I want you to just look to the left and up, okay? At the ceiling, you guys are going to see a cutout in the ceiling. If you levitate up through that cutout, you guys will get credit for your next hidden location. Here it is here. See, look to the left. See the cutout? Just levitate up through that cutout, guys. You'll get access to another hidden location, another ability point. There's also 2 treasure crates up here you guys can pick up as well. So let's go ahead and continue working on this side mission for Langston. We have 2 more objects of power that we need to cleanse and contain. So let's go ahead and find the hand chair. We can find it in the medical wing. When you guys get there, there's going to be some enemies, a couple of hiss nodes that you're going to need to destroy. The main thing is the orb. There's going to be an orb on the back side of the room. Make sure that you try to kill it first, because remember, anytime those orbs are out on the map, guys, these enemies are constantly going to be getting their health back. So try to locate the orb, kill it, then kill all the enemies, then destroy the hiss nodes, and you can actually see the chair up at the top of the screen now if you look really closely. There's going to be a barrier around it. You guys can destroy that barrier, interact with the chair, cleanse and contain it, and then we're going to work our way to our next control point in the game. So at this point, you guys have 1 more object of power that you need to cleanse and contain. It's called the Japanese paper lantern. Again, we're going to be picking that up in the next episode. But for now, I want you guys to exit the medical wing through this door. Follow this path, guys. Just like I'm showing you in the gameplay, we have a ton of combat that we need to get through before we reach our next control point. So just make it through all this combat, enjoy the gameplay. When you guys are done, you'll be able to activate your 19th control point out of 25.
Is this what Dylan wanted me to see? It doesn't matter. We need to find that projector. They studied what happened in Ordinary here. It's the place to start looking. Dylan and I were both prime candidates. Experiments. Very different ones, sure, but both in a cell of some sort. Am I out of the cell now, or is all this house and being vector just another cell? Who's really in charge here?
So in order for us to further the campaign at this point, we have to rotate the track that's in the center of the room. The problem is we have to destroy these rocks that are hanging off the wall first. Now there's your first cluster there. The second cluster is going to be on the other side of the room. You can't see it here because the track is in the way. The problem is as soon as you guys take out the first cluster, you're going to be attacked by these enemies. So again, we're going to take these guys out per usual. But as soon as they're dead, we're going to fly to the other side of the room and you guys will see the cluster to the right. We're going to destroy that cluster, make our way up to the control room, rotate the track, and then of course the gate's going to open and we can continue with the campaign.
There's gotta be a way to rotate these tracks. Maybe there's a control panel nearby.
So if you guys remember in a previous episode, we had an encounter with an enemy that was invisible. The only way that we knew the enemy was on the map was because it had this gas or this haze effect coming out of the environment, and that's how we could pinpoint where the enemy was. We're about to fight that same enemy again now. Now your biggest issue with this fight is going to be the space, okay? It feels like you're stuck in a very small space. Notice we got the red glow on the screen. We're fighting this enemy. It feels like we're stuck in the center of this map, okay? But we're not. There's a flanking route on the left and the right, and look at all this space. And look at the protection you guys get if you use the flanking routes. I remember the first time I encountered this enemy in this space, I died so many times because my brain just kept telling me that I could only fight this enemy in the center of this map. I didn't even care to look to the left or the right to even notice the flanking routes, but they're there, okay? And that's going to be your saving grace for this fight. Once you guys are done with that fight, just continue following this path. We have a puzzle that we need to solve here. Once you guys solve the puzzle, we're going to take the elevator up top, and then that's going to give you guys access to another control point. That'll be your 20th control point out of 25. So the next combat sequence can be a little bit rough. There's a lot of enemies that you have to deal with, but I'm gonna show you guys a trick, okay? Open up this door. We wanna advance far enough into this map to spawn the enemies in, and then we're gonna come back to this platform. So notice, go all the way over to the edge here. The barrier is gonna show up. When it does, go back up to the platform. If you stay down here, things get dicey, okay? But if you levitate back up to this platform, you guys can hang out here for the entire fight and kill all the enemies from here. Now, if you guys are feeling confident about the launch ability, remember we have that upgrade that allows us to toss back grenades and rockets at enemies. We've only used it once in the guide to pick up the trophy back when we fought Former, but you guys can use it here as well. There's an enemy in the back of the room, one of the bigger enemies in this combat sequence. He'll continuously just toss grenades at you guys. So if you time that launch ability correctly, you guys can kill him super quick using his own grenades.
slide projector in the dump outside town. Did they recreate that too? Is that where they keep it? Moved the whole landfill here in the middle.
So the first thing that you want to do when you reach the boss room is levitate up to this platform, then take the stairs. That's going to give you guys even more height. Okay, any of the enemies that come up here, you guys will be able to kill them super easy because they're going to have to take the stairs that's to the right where we just were. That's their only path up here. Now the orb can obviously teleport up here super quick, but that's going to play to your advantage because you definitely want to take the orb out first. But notice how all the enemies that I'm showing you here in the gameplay, they have to come through this path in order to get to you. So you guys have plenty of time to kill them, and you want to kill them up here because you want the health elements to be up here with you. And this is very important, guys. Having the health elements up here with you is going to come in handy when you fight the very last enemy in this room. It's not a boss, it's like a little mini boss. It has an overshield and it can fly, okay? But we're going to be posting up in this area where I'm standing at now for cover, okay? But if we do get hit, we want to be able to grab that health really quick and then come back and assume that position of cover and kill that enemy. So notice how I have some health there. I'm also going to plant some health up here when I kill this enemy. So you kind of want to strategically kill enemies in this upper platform before that final enemy spawns in, so you know where the health is, and no matter what happens up here, you always have health available. Remember, as soon as you finish this combat sequence, make sure that you run around the area and get all those materials. These enemies are going to be dropping a lot of materials, guys, and they drop them in so many random places. So take your time, collect all those materials. Then we're going to interact with the computer. After we do that, we're going to get our trophy, the face of the enemy.
We should check that lab.
And there it is, the face of the enemy. Okay, so now we want to catch those upgrades that we talked about earlier in the episode. We're going to upgrade 2 abilities, Health 3 and Health 4. That's going to give you guys credit for 15 of the 43 abilities you guys need to pop those trophies. And then we're going to set up a safety save and end this episode. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed. I'll see you right back here in episode 14. You guys be good.